Hi, I'm a volunteer with SciXchange and Toronto Metropolitan University, and today I'm excited to teach you guys a little bit about the fundamentals of coding. So what is coding? Well, coding is a way to give instructions to a computer. It involves writing commands to tell a computer what action to perform. Coding helps computers make decisions and perform tasks based on the rules provided. Alright, let's take a look at the key concepts we need to understand when it comes to coding. First, we need to understand this term, variables. A variable holds information used in our program. We can think of variables as boxes that we can put information in. Look at the example here. If we have a variable, let's call it cat breed, and we have a tabby cat, that's our data, we insert our data or our value into the variable, and the variable now contains or holds our data. Let's go through another example. Say you have 8 apples. If we put those 8 apples inside a box and labeled that box number of apples, our variable would be called number of apples, and our data that our variable contains would be 8 apples. Now we have a box that just says number of apples, but we can see inside the box or the variable there are still 8 apples. That's our data being stored. So we store the information in a variable, and with this example, we stored the number of apples we have inside a variable that we called number of apples. On the left side, we have the variable written out, and on the right side, we have the value of what is being stored in the variable. Let's talk about comparison. In programming, a computer compares two values to determine if a statement is true or false. In coding, we use comparison, and we use something called symbolic representation. Symbolic representation is using symbols or icons to convey meaning within the program. For example, using a heart to represent love or a sun icon to represent brightness. The following symbols are used by a computer to compare things. So here we have the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, and the equals to symbol. So if we look at the statement on the right, we would see it reads, left side is greater than right side. And now we don't know if that's true, but if we input some numbers, 3 is greater than 2. That statement, we're pretty sure, is true. So if we look at how we talk versus how a computer might understand a statement, it can look a little different. We might see a statement as, today is Tuesday. For a computer, the statement would look like day equals Tuesday. Our little equal sign is representing the is for us. We might say it is after 3 o'clock, but a computer would say time greater than 3. So again, our greater than symbol is representing the after for us. My favorite color is pink. A computer would read that as favorite color equals pink. Let's go through some examples. This statement reads 2 equals 2. Is this true or false? It's true. 2 equals 2. What about this one? 7 is greater than 10. Is this true or false? It is false. 7 is not greater than 10. 10 is greater than 7, or 7 is less than 10. This statement is false. Let's take a look at these two statements now. Number of oranges equals 3. Okay, let's say this is true. Can this statement also be true? Number of oranges is greater than 1? Yes, it is true. If number of oranges equals 3, the number of oranges is also greater than 1 because 3 is greater than 1. Okay, now we need to learn about something called conditional statements. A conditional statement tells the program what it needs to do when a condition is true or false. Let's look at something called an if statement. We use if statements all the time in our daily lives. If I am tired, then I go to bed. What we're doing here is saying if the condition, which is me being tired, is true, then this is what I do. I go to bed. I do some action. Let's look at this statement. Today is raining. So our first statement is it raining? If this is true, then we must wear rain boots. But what if it's not raining? That's where something called an else statement comes into play. If the condition is true, we do some action. If else, or if the condition is not true, we do a different action. So here's our statement when true, but we need to do if else now. So if false, we have a separate outcome. If it is not raining, wear flip-flops. Simple enough, right? If it is raining was a true statement, we wear rain boots. If else, we wear flip-flops. But wait, we live in Canada and it snows here a lot. So what do we do if it's snowing? It is far too cold to wear flip-flops when it is snowing, but our statement as it reads right now, if it is not raining, we wear flip-flops. This is where we introduce something called an else-if statement. So if a condition is true, then we do some action. Else if some other condition is true, we do some other action. Else, we do another action. We're adding a second if statement when we get the results, else, which will give us more options. Let's take a look at an example. Today is snowing. This is our original statement. Is it raining? If true, wear rain boots. Else, wear flip-flops. Or if false, wear flip-flops. But we're going to add something in between wear flip-flops and our initial statement. We're going to add a second conditional statement. Is it snowing? If this is true, we wear rain boots. So as it reads right now, is it raining? If true, wear rain boots. If else, is it snowing? If true, wear snow boots. If false, wear flip-flops. Or if else, wear flip-flops. Now let's take a look at a new term we use in coding. This term is called loops. Loops are instructions for a repeating set of actions. If you want the computer to do something multiple times, you can use loops. For example, if you have to clap your hands 3 times, instead of writing clap 3 times, you can use a loop to repeat the action. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you were able to learn a little bit about coding. Have a nice day.